Now, I've done me a fair share of acid before. But when I seen a damn winged plane all mossy green flying and shit, fire coming out its mouth and particles coming out its other end, now I had to pinch myself. I said, self, is this like a residual from all that LSD and acid and shit? Or like, is this shit real? Now, one, I knew it was real because some of the mess from that winged flying thing, letting hell out both ends, hit my damn car. I'm 3 payments away from paying this shit off, and it hit the damn car like a chili cook-off all over my car. Now, the other thing was, when that happens, I'm sitting in my own mess. You know, like, goodbye, jeans. Gotta walk me through a car wash, spray me off, get my undercoat going. You know, what in the hell? I got poop on my car, I got poop in my car.
Yeah, that was weird. Sounded like somebody I know. Maybe that's coming from Lansing. I can't tell.
Is that the hillbilly hotline we just got tapped into?
Probably. Are we opening phone lines? Hey, call the show or review the show. We'll read it. We'll play your call online. I don't know. It's weird. Probably one of those interference things.
Again? Oh, we're dealing with it again. Godzilla's coming.
Christian, you recording?
I'm recording.
Joel, you recording?
Yep, sure.
Great. Well, that's because we have Flame Wing, 3 Head.
You didn't think of this, did you, either?
Butterfree. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
Coming at you, not live from Castle Bravo. 2 men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Men podcast, and it starts right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. We are continuing our journey through the legendary MonsterVerse with Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And with me this week, as usual, is Krista and Joel.
Hey. Funny. Spencer, hi, how are you? I'm logged in apparently under my wife's name. It's weird. It's so I show up to them as my wife's name. And now everybody knows it. Now they're going to come after us. Thanks for that. We're going to get hate mail because they don't like some of the stuff I say.
His address
It's whatever. Hey.
You're not introduced yet.
Remember
what we said, yes.
To my immediate left, your immediate center, if you're listening with both buds or headphones, or to your immediate left if you only have your left one in, or your immediate right if you only have your right one in, or your immediate surround if you're listening in the surround sound, or your immediate wherever it's aimed at if you're listening to a Bluetooth speaker. We got coming in hot at 5'10", if he's wearing platform shoes on his pedestal. Penis, because we got the master of voice inflection, the boomer of vocal cords, the vivacious vocalist Joel, the voice. Back from the dead and full of air.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yes, it's Joel, the voice Powie, voice of this podcast, voice of the Laker Marching Band, and hopefully other things if my career picks up. Anyway,
Joel,
I'm here again.
I got a question. I understand you are on a new breathing regimen. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So the doctor has put me on this new thing. I gotta do. It's twice a day, 10 times of go fuck yourself.
Oh,
I thought you actually had something.
See,
like
I
Christian.
tried that. It didn't
Is there
work.
really something? Like, you sounded very convincing, you asshat. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Maybe
like
that's
the time
signaling
is
like
not
working.
the joke is dead. Stop talking about my
Yeah,
near-death
I was just gonna
experience.
say, when are we gonna let that die? Maybe after Godzilla's done.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. Because
Well-
the one we're doing next, don't say it, but are you not doing that one with us? We'll talk about it after the show.
We'll talk
I
about
have
it.
Well,
no
we're the
idea
sequel
what that
men.
is. True.
We're the
Joel,
sequel men. We're the
Yeah, go
sequel
ahead.
men. We talk about film franchises and shit and all that good stuff. And right now we're talking MonsterVerse. We're talking MonsterVerse, and we are toward the end. We got one more after this, as it stands right now. But there's a whole movement, restore the MonsterVerse and all that stuff. I'm all for it. I'm in it. I'd be happy to revisit the MonsterVerse. I want to see more. There's plenty more
Restore
monsters
the
for
MonsterVerse.
olds, or they want to continue it. But there's so many more monsters for Godzilla to fight. There's a lot of material. Right now we're talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And I gotta tell you, snooze fest.
Oh,
I
no, Spencer, you're lying.
I
It's a little
I
boring.
really thought I was. Yeah, I really remember this being a lot better. And even for me, who was like, I know the plot sucks, so I know that. I know the human characters are gonna suck, and I'm not gonna care. But dude, give me something.
All right, we got to do a little
And
pregame in
the
here.
monster action was fine. It was fun, and I'll watch this again someday. Like, I still liked it because of what it is, but man, oh man,
Yes.
give me
When-
something better.
Let's get off on another foot. How did we all first see this movie? What were we doing? Did you go to the movies? Did you watch it on home video?
Bought it on Blu-ray.
Bought it on Blu-ray. What about you, Joel?
Shamefully enough, this is, I don't know how, but it's another one where I skipped it in theaters and
What's
went right
the
to
deal with
buying.
that?
I
Why?
don't know. That's two for two now with Kong and this one, but it's how it happened. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember seeing this one in
That's
theaters.
okay. It happens. We understand.
Yeah.
Life gets busy. Things happen. Something that happened with me, I went and saw it at the theater with my two sisters. One of them my twin, one of them
That
my
sounds like a
older
sitcom.
sister. And my dad, me, we all went to the theater. The theater I worked at, the Grand Haven 9 Theater, it's no longer open.
Which,
Rip.
sad, yes.
But it is very sad. Me and Joel went and saw Shazam there. It was a great time. Great
time.
movie
Yeah.
with a great friend.
Oh, look at you being nice for once.
Speaking of being a great friend, I know we're a few weeks late, Joel, but Christian and I talked about this, and I mean, if you want us to cut it out, we can, but I think just on an actual serious note, I want to tell you that as your friend and as somebody who has followed you on social media and just your journey over the last few years, and I'm being serious, I want to tell you that, as a close friend, as another man, we all have our struggles. I'm proud of you, your sobriety, and where you've come. And
Thank you.
I want to tell
Absolutely.
you that it's amazing. You've stuck with it, and trust me. I mean, I'm sure there's been times where you could have just been, you know what, just one. Let me but you didn't, and especially going through a pandemic, a whole bunch of other stressful stuff, your job. Uncertainty with where that might go, political stuff, all of that, and you stuck it out. You stuck with it.
Kept insanity.
And
Yeah, the election almost pushed me
as
off
a
the wagon.
friend, I know, and you didn't let it. And I
Yes.
want to just commend and applaud your courage to put yourself out there too, and keep social media updated. Like you're not hiding it. You're embracing that. Hey, this is who I was. This is who I am now. and I'm proud of you, man. That's an accomplishment. How many years? 4?
So, April 12 was officially, that's the official date. So April 12 marked 4 years. So
Awesome.
I don't know how the hell I did it either, but yes, here I am. Actually, it's nothing now, you know. So, and yes, I keep it public because I think
Does it kind of
we as a
help
society are still struggling with stigmatizing people's mental issues and everything that comes with it. So I do that definitely on purpose, and I'm hoping somebody sees it, you know, or a few people see it and say, well, oh, damn, maybe I could benefit from this, or something. Get people to think about it, because it's not really that big of a deal. Like, it's a big deal, it's an accomplishment, but I'm saying it's not.
Yeah.
You're not missing out on much, because in the past 4 years, I've found new hobbies, I've found other ways to fill my headspace, you know? So, is it long and is it challenging? Is it hard? Yes, of course it is, but like, it's great.
Anything worth doing is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yes, thank you. Thank you.
And you're in a
recognizing.
relationship now, and that helps.
Yeah.
So
things are looking good for you, Joel.
She tolerates me. Yeah, it's great.
You're fine. And that, trust me,
That's an accomplishment
being
too.
his pal the last several years, it's tough. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
fun.
no,
He's
no.
fun. You're a fun guy.
No, well, things are looking up for Joel.
Yes.
Not just in that way, but I wanted to mention it can be hard to. That's not what I was going at. I was going to say it's hard to open up about stuff like that, especially publicly.
Yes.
Not even more so, maybe even privately. It's hard to open up about stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So people seeing your messages and seeing your posts might help them to, oh, hey, I can tell my story too, or I can be more, he's not afraid to tell other people or let it be known. So,
Yeah.
and it does help.
Don't keep
can
it
be,
in.
Yeah.
it can be helpful.
Don't keep. Yeah. If you're struggling with anything, and if you know, if you feel like alcohol is maybe just amplifying that, which, spoiler alert, it is. Just don't be afraid to like try that different path in life, because honestly, like, I don't think about alcohol. Like, there are alternatives. They've over the past few years, they've gotten significantly better at creating non-alcoholic beverages for people. Wines, beers.
Oberon.
It's
Or not
amazing
Oberon.
what they can do. You know, like, when I was a drinker, I was really big on IPAs. Now I can go get an IPA, and it's not 8% alcohol by volume. It's alcohol free. It's alcohol remove this, alcohol remove that. So there's ways now. So not only is it easy, it's like if you miss the taste of such and such, beer makers, winemakers are seeing, because it's an increase of people that are doing the sober thing nowadays. Like, I've been seeing a lot more people like within my circle, like people I went to high school with too. So it's becoming normalized slowly,
It can
but
be done.
surely. So that's good to see. And by golly, you should consider it. If you think you're struggling, give it a whirl, kids. You'll be surprised at how much you accomplish in your personal life. And that's a whole other thing. Like, I look back and everything that I've managed to do for myself in the past 4 years is astounding, and I don't think it would have happened had I not become sober. So, give it a shot.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Good stuff.
I meant
Well,
O'Doul's, not
like I said-
Oberon.
What?
I think that's an alcohol-free beer.
O'Doul's has
Been
been
around
yeah,
forever.
that's yeah.
That's been around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. And now we can move on to old King of the
Well,
Monsters.
hold on. I didn't
Yay.
finish what I was talking
Oh.
about. I went and saw it. Well, long story short, I went and saw it at the theater with my family. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it at the time. And I think you're going to be surprised at... I really kind of sent you some... I sent you and Joel in our chat just my opinion on the movie, having only watched it once since that time in the theater. I only watched it in the theater 2 years ago. When I messaged you, I hadn't watched it again for the second time for this podcast. But I look forward to talking about the movie more and having an informed opinion this instead of being an arrogant ass on our chat.
Well, that happens. So, are we gonna get into it?
Well,
we can do it quick. We can get into it.
Let's get
we can
into
just
it.
Jump right into it instead of give it. I didn't even read trivia. I don't know if there's any good trivia for this one.
Well, let me.
I can
hold
kind
on
of
a
sneak
sec.
in a look. Yeah. You look through IMDb.
This one's
while I'm
just
doing
generally uninteresting, so I don't know. Oh, I got trivia for
All right,
you.
you ready?
I got a piece of
Yeah, go
trivia.
ahead.
Tywin Lannister's
Please
in it.
share.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, well, that's not trivia. That's
Well-
just a main character in it.
Here's a trivia.
But sure, yeah.
Well, it's not
Okay,
really
give us a
trivia, but this is the only... I don't know if Godzilla vs. Kong does this, but this movie uses the original Godzilla theme from... what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm looking it up right now. I have it. Akira Ifukube. The original score composer
Do we not
for the
hear a
original
little bit of
Godzilla.
that in Gareth Edwards' Godzilla? The first one?
I didn't hear a single piece of it. I mean, you heard it in our
Maybe
intro
not.
music
Yeah.
there. That's the original theme repurposed for this new
Right.
King of the Monsters, and it even introduces the first bit from Mothra versus Godzilla. That's the very first thing you hear at the front of the show. That bit's from Godzilla versus Mothra, and then it goes into the main theme. So that's a little bit of trivia. I just discovered that on Spotify. I was like, I've never listened to the original soundtracks for those movies. So I gave him a listen.
Here, I have 2 bits.
Go for it.
A skeleton can be seen outside of Godzilla's underwater temple. This skeleton bears a body shape resembling Anguirus, a dinosaur who served as Godzilla's ally in a few films. The filmmakers have confirmed that it is in fact Anguirus. And also another fun little guy here. Mothra's eye spots on her wings were designed to resemble Godzilla's eyes in order to create a connection between the two monsters.
Cute.
Oh, that's interesting. Here, I don't know if you guys watch Rick and Morty, but here's another piece of trivia.
I don't.
Bradley Whitford as Dr. Rick Stanton.
Okay.
Doherty, I think that's the director, correct? Doherty? Let's see. Directed by Michael Doherty.
I think
Yes.
you're right.
He, excuse me, Doherty confirmed that Dr. Stanton is loosely modeled after Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. Doherty had the character, quote, drink a lot, quote, unquote, to keep the character in line with the spirit of Sanchez. I don't remember seeing him drink one time in this movie, to be honest. Bradley Whitford.
I have a... You know what's funny? I'm looking back, like with all these theories, like, oh, what monsters could we see next? And then I'm like, I don't recognize the name of a lot of these monsters, so then I look them up. And I didn't watch Godzilla, like, as a kid.
Right.
I don't remember, but I recognize all of these monsters. Like, I don't know where I saw them as a kid. Maybe I had some toys. I know I did have a couple toys. I don't know why I had them or how I mean, Godzilla was like a well-known thing, but right. I recognize all of these monsters, like, from my childhood somewhere. It's weird. Like, I just looked up the one I just told you about, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that one. Like, I'd seen it before. It's weird.
I don't recognize any of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew Godzilla because the 2000 movie.
Right, but all the other...
I had a Mothra action figure.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Like, I don't, it's weird. Like, why did I have
Where
it?
did you get
Monsters,
that?
the other monsters we see.
I don't know.
Like, obviously, I don't remember. Like, maybe there's one that I remember from my childhood, I guess you could say, even though they're all old films, is probably King Ghidorah. But the rest of them, like that fucking mammoth ape-looking bitch.
Oh, I'm not talking about specifically this movie.
Oh, okay. But even Rodan, I don't remember. You know, I've
Me neither.
prior to this movie, I was not familiar with any of these other monsters. So, yeah, it may
I
be
think I
Mothra,
was-
but
the only
Mothra's
reason
a
I
big
knew
one. I was hyped
Mothra,
about Mothra.
I didn't know Mothra was a Godzilla thing until later on. But my old band director used to be terrified of moths, or he had a bad experience with a huge moth one time.
Bad sexual
And he called
experience
it
with a moth last
Mothra.
night.
And he kept saying Mothra during high school. And I was like, what does he mean? What is Mothra? Like, and then I finally learned, oh, okay, it's a Godzilla thing. Okay. But,
Mothra had her own movie back in the 60s.
well,
Rebirth of Mothra 2 and 3, Mothra.
I
just
don't think
Mothra.
she's going to be getting her own
Godzilla,
movie this time
Mothra
around.
and King Ghidorah, Attack of the Giant Monsters, Mothra versus Godzilla.
Yep.
I mean, like, Mothra was one that I recognized because she's just one of the more famous ones, but I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if my siblings were in, I don't know. It's weird, but like all the monsters that don't appear in this, like that I've seen, like I hear the name and I look them up, like there's a turtle that I'm like, oh yeah, that I remember seeing that. Or the one I just looked up, like I recognize all the ones that haven't been on screen yet. Anyway, let's
yes,
get into
the
Act
turtle.
1, shall we?
Squirtle.
No.
That was
There's
stupid.
Shut. Fine.
I'm sorry for
no,
that.
That's good. All right, I'm gonna get into it.
in
You
other
ready?
news.
I'm ready.
What's with the light show?
It's an intimidation display. Like a gorilla pounding its chest.
Consider us very intimidated.
Act 1. It's 2014, and Mark and Emma Russell are looking for their son, Andrew, while Godzilla stomps around. Cut to present time. Madison Russell, she's the daughter, is emailing her dad, that's Mark, about how she's worried about mom, that's Emma. Maddie, that's Madison, gets distracted and burns the bacon because a whole plot point of smoke alarms going off, and Mama Russell and what did I say? Maddie gets distracted and burns the bacon, causing a whole plot point of smoke alarms going off and Mama Russell and Maddie's relationship being weird. A monster-caused earthquake. What am I saying? A monster-caused earthquake has the two of them, like it forces them to go and check in the closet Monarch, the closest Monarch
Hit the rewind button.
outpost, where we find out that Mothra is hatching from her cocoon into an adorable giant baby larva who can apparently shoot webs. Emma tries out her orca sound machine that she's made to communicate with these monsters to calm Mothra, and it works before an eco-terrorist group led by Tywin Lannister crashes the party and takes them hostage. During a government trial, Surazawa and Vivian Graham fight to keep the monsters alive while the government wants to kill them. Now, Mark takes pictures of wolves and gets picked up by Monarch to track Godzilla and go stop the eco-terrorists who eventually bring to life Monster Zero. With 3 heads and a long story short, Godzilla comes in and they fight for a second. Mark blacks out, Vivian Graham gets eaten, Monster Zero uses lightning bolts, and it's super effective, and we cut away right in the middle of the fight.
Okay, quick question.
So, yeah.
What Okay, this will be kind of a little fun thing. What type, if King Ghidorah, Monster Zero, and Godzilla were Pokemon, what types would they be?
Lightning.
Well.
So
yeah.
Ghidorah would be electricity.
Lightning dragon. Dragon. Electric
it's electricity.
Dragon.
Yeah, electric dragon.
I rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll get Ghidorah.
Fire. How is that a question?
Fire?
For
Fire
Godzilla.
electric.
Godzilla?
Yeah, dragon.
He could
Water,
be fire and dragon, but
I know
what
nothing
water?
about Pokemon, so...
He's aquatic.
What?
Oh, and that's another interesting thing I noticed. We'll talk about it later, but please don't remind me elements. Or please remind me.
Don't remind me. I don't want to talk about that shit.
All right.
Anyway, I'm
consider
sorry.
it done, man. I've forgotten about it already.
All right. Don't forget. I
Question
can't let
for you
myself...
guys now.
Yeah.
And I'm actually asking, can moth larvae and moths shoot webs? Like, are there a form of moth breed that can shoot webs?
Oh.
Do you know?
I have no idea.
Great.
But
So,
keeping
no?
the Pokemon theme, I think Dustox can use, like, string shot, which is a web. And he's a moth.
Oh, you know what? Caterpie.
Venomoth?
No, yeah, she'd be a moth. That'd be Venom. So that'd be Weedle. A giant Weedle was
Well,
born.
no, Venomoth is Venonet.
Also,
Anyway,
no.
it doesn't matter. Go on.
I think you're right. Is Beedrill? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Beedrill's
Beedrill comes from Weedle. No.
Yeah.
No.
You guys need to start your own
I'm gonna look.
spin-off podcast about fucking Pokemon.
I'm gonna look. Weedle evolution.
Joel, you can start your own
Beedrill. Okay.
podcast about sex.
Beedrill. So, also, as I was watching this first
No
act,
one would
almost
listen.
falling asleep. What the? I literally wrote, "What the hell's the plan here? What are we doing? What is anybody doing?"
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, why don't we... Well, we don't find out what the exact plan is until later, do we? Like, of these
No.
terrorists? When does she... She contacts them after Antarctica, correct? Emma? Yep, that's
Yeah.
after. So we'll get in that in
Here's
Act
my
2. We
initial
don't want to...
big thought. I guess
Okay.
I should... my notes are kind of lacking and also a little unorganized for this one, for a good reason. But this is probably important for me to say now. Was it necessary to introduce another family? Could the Orca device be invented by someone we already know, maybe? You know, could they...
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Could they maybe have kept Bryan Cranston alive and maybe had him be, you know...
exactly. He could be the one who invented the Orca.
And
Because he
also...
was studying
scheduling
acoustics,
conflicts.
echolocation.
Another thought I had was like, do we even want the Orca in the story? Just seems like a device that was, again, something that's shoehorned, inserted into the plot.
Like a MacGuffin?
Yeah. You know?
Okay, let me
Yes.
posit you this, Joel. And this is kind of the hindsight bias. Would you have rather had Ford come back and his boring milquetoast family that we know nothing about?
I would have.
By making him making him the crazy.
I wouldn't have wanted that. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, but think about it. After all the trauma happens in Godzilla, he might have a motivation after that to be like, okay, I gotta take Dad's echolocation crap seriously now. Let's start working on something.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess, but he's not a scientist. I don't know if that matters anything, but I think the key thing I think it would have been cool. I said this in Godzilla. This is what I was going at. Have Bryan Cranston, and I think you said it too, Joel. Have him be the one who comes back. He's been studying echolocation and he turns it into this Orca device after working with Monarch. That would have been a better way to go. And then we could have had Bryan Cranston be one of the main characters, not Ford or Elizabeth Olsen, whatever her name is in the movie.
Yeah.
But I actually care more about this family than I did the last one. And that is almost a complete opposite U-turn from what I said in the chat, because I was talking out of my ass at the time.
I like Mark.
But
I like Mark
too.
fine.
I like it makes sense. His role in the story makes sense because it seems like he's a wildlife photographer. He studies. I don't think he's a wildlife photographer per se, but he studies animals and their behavior, and it makes sense to have him be involved in making the orca. Even if he wasn't introduced in the earlier movie, and he was kind of just the whole family, the Russell family was introduced in the introduction, which I thought was well done. The effect was a little iffy. It was a little iffy at the beginning there. You could tell the green screen, but I think it does a good job of anchoring their role in the story, I guess you could say. Is for a reason why he's involved with Godzilla, and giving him sort of a Captain Ahab sort of.
There you go with your Moby Dick again.
No, and that's something I noticed too, because he hates these animals. He hates the Titans because of what Godzilla did back in 2014 in San Francisco. Killed his son. Yeah.
What happened to my son?
Yeah.
And I have a right to know. He doesn't.
Just reminded me of Goblet of Fire.
My boy. All right, I'm trying to find.
But that's not funny.
What's?
I mean, it kind of is, but Joel doesn't know.
I've seen the Harry Potter movies.
Oh,
yeah, I have. I own them all. So
okay,
you know.
Ooh.
Well.
They were originally they were meant to come back, but I think there were some scheduling conflicts with the actors. I can't find. I don't care. But they were originally. I think they were supposed to come back. It doesn't matter.
Going back to the Ahab thing, it brought it back, kind of a ring theory connection to Samuel L. Jackson's Packard, and that he hated Kong because it killed his men. Mm-hmm. But it was technically their own fault. It was technically the soldiers' own fault that they got killed, because they come in, speakers blaring, all that nonsense. And this wasn't Mark's fault at all. They were just living in San Francisco, and they got their home destroyed, and their son was killed. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives him impetus. But we kind of see him kind of gradually throughout the movie, as we'll see, kind of change, which I love that scene in their Castle Bravo, their headquarters, underneath the oil rig, where Godzilla's approaching, heading towards Antarctica.
That scared me.
Can I want to back up.
Figure in the water. It's that water thing again.
Take a couple steps back to the what's his name?
Kind of getting ahead of it.
Mark. Right, that's the dad?
Yeah.
All right.
Mark Russell.
Mark.
The whole thing of having it... Okay, the conflict they create between him and Godzilla in the beginning, you're kind of getting the same POV, and it's a bit of a lazy one, in my opinion, because guess what it reminded me of? Can you take a guess?
I want to take a guess.
Take it. I bet you'll get it.
Did it remind you of Coxzilla?
All right, well...
Come of the Monsters, the porn parody?
We interrupt this dick joke to bring you the actual statement. My actual idea is...
Who's in it?
I'll just say it. I don't trust you anymore to make any guesses.
No. I want to guess one more. Who's in it?
Ben Affleck.
Who is...
Oh, Batman versus
Gone
Superman.
Girls.
So it reminded me of the whole thing where
that's what I was gonna say.
Bruce Wayne is just chilling in the midst of all the chaos of the fallout of Superman versus Zod and whatever, and they're giving you it's kind of a lazy in my opinion, because
I want you to remember that same thing when you watch Kong vs. Godzilla also.
I'm sorry?
I need you to keep that same... I need you to remember that that this reminded you of that movie.
Okay.
When you watch Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay.
Godzilla.
Well,
Okay.
that'll
and
be soon.
I think you're going to be like, okay. I don't want to spoil
right.
anything, but it's okay.
Fellas, hold on. I'm lowering my levels a little bit.
I
Just a
thought you
little
just
bit.
called us Phyllis.
I said fellas. Idiot.
This Act 1, it ends on such a note where you're like, but then Mark blacks out, and then I guess we have to be done watching the fight too.
Oh yeah.
Let us watch it.
He
And let
pulled
us
a Bilbo.
watch it.
Yeah.
Let us just, let us watch it. Let them fight and let us watch
Spencer.
it.
Okay, Serizawa, let them fight. Let us watch it.
But why do they want to wake him up? We're starting at the end of the act and going to the beginning. Why do the
two.
eco-terrorists want to wake him up?
That's
No.
revealed in Act
We do
2.
remember. It is. You're right.
I know.
So we're not going to talk
I
about
got
that.
another
but-
point we can back up to real quick. So I did like the
Okay.
whole
Okay.
right in the beginning there after the whole stupid kitchen scene with them.
I didn't think it was stupid,
It cuts to
surprisingly.
the
Go ahead, sorry.
the Senate hearings or whatever. I did like that whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And the whole
Yeah.
Yes.
oh, you want us to keep him as our pet? And he's like, Serizawa's like, no, we will be his.
And why do they want to kill him? He's gone and sleeping.
Yeah.
He's not bugging anybody anymore.
We're going to kill him.
Yeah.
Why would they kill him? Because at this
Because-
point, there's no other
Did
monsters.
you see what he
right
did to
now.
San Francisco?
Yeah, but how do they think they're going to kill him? He left, but did they
you
see
said
that
it perfectly in the last Godzilla episode.
worse
can't.
things could have happened if he didn't intervene and get the two Mutos, and then he left and was like, "Hey, sorry, put it on my tab." But he's big. That happens. Look at the Avengers, but you don't ever see anybody giving them shit. They
That's
destroyed
not
a city.
true.
Well, they didn't.
Tony got shit in
I
Civil
know.
War.
Yeah, I know. You're right. They did, but I'm saying. No, nobody's saying to kill them or to stop them. They just wanted to
Right.
be in control. So if this had been like, hey, let's try to find a thing to control him instead of kill him and use him when we need him.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this movie is that we're getting into the theme again of controlling the uncontrollable. Whereas you can't really control. I mean, this is where they kind of backtrack on that theme, or they kind of supplement it somehow with the Orca device, because you can somewhat control the behavior of the Titans with this device that, what is it? It matches their body acoustics.
It's the alpha signal.
Bioacoustics.
The alpha frequency. It's the alpha
yeah.
frequency. So how that works, my understanding is that frequency, it lets the other the Titans know, and it kind of tricks them into thinking, oh, that's the alpha right there, so we have to obey it. Where Ghidorah has an alpha, he's an alpha. Oh, spoiler alert! His name is King Ghidorah, not Monster
I
Zero.
already said that.
We knew that, but anyway.
Yeah.
And
I already
if you
spoiled
notice, we'll get to it, but remind me to talk about Mothra's reaction to the alpha frequency. Remind me.
Okay.
But Godzilla's an alpha, all these, and then these little henchmen monsters like Rodan, they're just like, yo, I just want to follow the most powerful. I'm not, I'm
Yeah.
always around, never in charge. Type of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which the design of King Ghidorah of Monster Zero, terrifying, beautiful, great. That shot when Godzilla comes and intimidates the people under the water, terrifying and great.
I love it. I love that sequence. And it was kind of
it reminds me of like when you tap on the glass of a fish tank.
bowl.
Just remind them, I'm bigger than you and I'm in charge. Boo! Haha, gotcha, suckers. I'll be back.
When he
I'll be back. I'm gonna go
roars and
swim over
swims
here.
away.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm just
Gotcha, bitch.
fudging with you. Yeah. I'll go over here, but don't you guys do anything stupid while I'm gone. I'm on to your guys' little game, but I'm gonna swim over here. I gotta eat, take a dump, and recharge. And I'll be back though.
I love the lead up to that though. because that's how they can tell that he's approaching, is through the acoustics, his biorhythmic acoustics. They can tell his heartbeat and all his vitals and all that. Science. But it's cool, his approach, just seeing his silhouette in the water as they open whatever, the blast shield doors, whatever. And you see him swimming, coming slow. And you see like his just pulsating spines on his. Okay. You can see.
I plead the fifth.
You can
That's a compliment.
On his back, like the electricity, the power pulsating through his spikes, his back fins. It's really cool. I think it's really cool. Just the visual. And the sound design is cool. Just hearing like the low bass of his growling or whatever, his communication. Very cool scene. And I appreciate how the military isn't stupid in this movie.
Not as stupid. At least not the ones that we deal with. Mostly, right. What I forget the actor's name, but he's Ice Cube's son, right? Yes. O'Shea Jackson Jr. or something like that.
Yeah, he's good. He's cool. The other guy, I think he's in a new movie coming out. He's in this new Puerto Rican musical movie with
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That On Our Block or whatever it is.
In the Heights, isn't it?
Yeah, In the Heights. That's what it is.
Sorry. One of the songs is like, On Our Block or something.
He's in it.
Good
job.
Yep.
You did it perfectly. But the black lady is really nice. I like her as their commander. It's good performances. And I like how they show the protocol of like weapons free, or not weapons free, but hands free. Put the weapons down, like get your hands off the trigger, and they put their hands up as they. I appreciated that. Because they're not stupid and they're not defying. If it was Packard, he'd be like, shoot the motherfucker.
But he'd get cut off.
You're right.
Bradley Whitworth, I really enjoy in this film. If it was just
Bradley Whitford's
I'd
character
be fine.
is...
Whitford.
Yes.
Whitford, not Whitworth.
Yeah.
Whitworth.
J.G.
I knew it was Whit something. Knew it started with a Whit, though.
He's great.
There's one line he says later on that's stupid.
I went through a phase where I was hardcore watching West Wing, like all the time.
He's fantastic.
Was he in there?
I haven't really watched it.
My admiration kind of stems from that show too. So he's a good actor.
He's freaky.
He's always like the smart ass, but it's like, if it's the stuff you do well, then you shouldn't mind. I mean, you're still making a living. Who can't you're typecasted all the time, but whatever, you know.
What's that movie
when Godzilla gets knocked out and has to sleep? I feel like there's a missed opportunity to call back his character from Billy Madison, and they're like, oh yeah, he's got to recharge, and then he could have said, well, is he recharging or did he pass out? I just thought that would have been funny, but they did not do that. Yeah, in he should have, because in Billy Madison, Adam Sandler's
he said
like,
that in Billy Madison.
I fell asleep by the pool, Daddy. And then he's like, did you fall asleep or did you pass out? And so when Godzilla is like knocked out, he could have said, did he fall asleep or did he pass out? And I missed opportunity.
That was a missed opportunity. That would have been funny for those who understood it, namely Spencer King, nobody else. But
Adam Sandler movies, people know those. People been
what if Adam Sandler showed up?
He said
he could have been a standby. He could have been a bystander in the beginning of the movie in San Francisco or in Boston, been like, "It's Godzilla!"
Wow.
I'm going to do my Adam Sandler voice. It's Godzilla. Would you like a piece of pie?
He could have done one of those. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
You Al Pacino now?
That stupid voice.
Wow.
No, he says that. You go, wow. He says.
Wow. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Wow. Two different movies, but.
I'm Tony Montana.
The military. wants to bring me back in.
I'm sorry. Is this a...
For these monster movies. I gotta wait.
Is that Jeff Bridges and Al Pacino?
Stoner!
Jeff Pacino.
It was a mixture.
Stoner!
It was a mixture. He's very yelly. Very yelly.
I hated that the woman, what's her name, died.
Huh?
No.
Brutal.
Let me finish my sentence. Wait until I'm finished asking the question. No, the female doctor. Really crappy how she went out. She went out like someone went out in Kong.
I'm sorry, I'm struggling to remember. What exactly are you talking about?
The Serizawa's partner. The chick from
Vivian
Fishman
Graham.
movie. The water guy.
I think it's
what's it called?
It's actually called Fish Fucker.
The Shape of Water.
That was a terrible movie.
Did you say Fish Fucker?
Yeah, I did, because she do a fish man in that movie?
Why am I not remembering? How does she die in this movie?
She gets eaten by King Ghidorah's first head.
I don't even remember that. That shows you how... Oh, okay.
The way that King Ghidorah Monster Zero is set up is like each head has like a different cognitive wiring. The middle head, I mean, and this is pretty obvious, the middle head is like the in-charge one, and the other two heads are kind of like its lackeys, even though they're the same monster.
The one on the left is the
terrifying
dumb one.
design, though, like huge. And anything huge that flies, I mean, you know me. That's terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And,
like I said, you shit yourself watching this the first time.
Like when it's lightning and you only see like its silhouette in the... just stop.
Dude, I wish they would have showed him off better, though. Like, I'm not a fan. Tough. Not a fan of some of the cinematography in the film in as it pertains to the big... Like in the first act with Ghidorah versus Godzilla in Antarctica. Could have shown it better. Could have showed it better. But I think that they're almost doing what they were doing in Godzilla and keeping it dark.
I was bothered by the whole first confrontation. The first fight scene, so to speak.
It wasn't as epic as it could have been.
There wasn't build-up.
Yeah.
There wasn't build-up. It was just like Godzilla stumbled across, oh, hey, let's fight real quick.
I will say, I did get goosebumps when Ghidorah like, whoa, what's that? And then it's like, oh, shit, you know Godzilla's coming.
Yeah.
And you see his spikes through the ice. That was cool. That got me pumped.
When did Ghidorah speak?
Ghidorah's roar is cool, too.
All the sounds of the monsters are great.
Yeah.
Let me just put that out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all great.
That's one place where all of these movies shine is like... And I mean, part of it, I think, is them staying true to some of the original sounds, but obviously they had to spice it up a little, because I don't know, it's only been about 50 years since then, since the original, introduction of some of these monster characters. But obviously, they pull it off, like, regardless. Doesn't even matter if it was new sounds. Like, what they chose to do is great for literally all of these monsters.
Yes.
I think they have used, like, Godzilla's original roar, just repurposed and better sounding.
Yeah.
During the design process. I'm assuming they did the same thing for Rodan and Ghidorah. And Mothra. But I thought it was cool.
Yeah, they did for Mothra, they did. I know for sure.
Okay.
Because I read a trivia bit on that, so...
I thought it was cool how she shot webs.
Remastered.
Yeah, and they did a good job. I like how Mothra shoots the webs, even if it's not, I don't know how anatomically correct it is, but it was cool. But you do get a hint of that stupid military stuff in the beginning.
A little
Why
bit.
do they kill everybody? They're just scientists.
Here's another thing.
They're eco-terrorists.
Why the hell does this film... I was bothered by the whole... what's his actual name? Tywin Lannister. The actual character's name is...
Charles Dance.
No, I mean the character's name. Not the actor's name.
Buddy Luther. Just kidding. His name in the movie is Alan Jonah.
Alan Jonah.
Alan Jonah.
Alan
Was
Jonah.
there a connection with the whale there?
I just was bothered by the whole fact that they decided to make a human villain in this film. Like, why? Why do we even need that? And I guess they
no freaking kidding.
I guess they kind of make good on that later on, but it's no. Like, we don't need a human fucking villain in a MonsterVerse movie. Like, there's already a threat. There's already the whole thing. Like, the whole issue is nature needs to. The natural order of things needs to restore. Oh, which is okay. Maybe, we just let Godzilla be Godzilla, and he's shown us that, the city was destroyed, but that's only because there's something there pissing him off. But why do we need it? Why do we need a terror? This Alan Jonah guy and his thugs, and why do we need this?
Because they're the ones unleashing the monsters.
But that's what I'm saying.
They're the ones.
I wrote that too. It's like they could have thought of something else. I think it all was lazy. I think the whole we're the bad guys and we're gonna go. We're here to wake the bad guy up.
Could have woken him up.
I don't know. I think
it could have been.
There could have been something a little bit more natural or authentic or organic about the way King Ghidorah gets resurrected. That's all I'm saying.
I got it, Joel, and I'm being super serious. Missed opportunity with plot here. You're right. Have Ghidorah be the only bad guy, be the main thing, not these people are unleashing all these titans. This could have been an analogy for global warming, because King Ghidorah's in the ice, and it's showing he could be the ice caps are melting, so then he kind of wakes up. That's part of it. So he's thawed out, have a whole big thing he was frozen but he's unfreeze, the rate of that the ice caps are melting, he's peeking out, and then Godzilla's roar could have sparked the
from the 2014
him up with his alpha with the alpha frequency.
Something
exactly
like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Something like that.
And kind of if you've seen the Justice League, the new one, have you seen that one yet? Have you watched it?
Now that I've finally figured out how to unlock HBO Max, I have that on my list, and I'm going to watch it soon, probably, guess.
All right, watch Mortal Kombat. It's pretty fun. Anyway.
So have Godzilla has woken him up, or Godzilla senses it, because he's just I'm bored, let's go fight. I'm going to find somebody to fight.
Because then it could have been a consequence of Godzilla in 2014, and it deals with the climate change thing. But it also could have been accidentally released by Monarch through their studies.
Or that.
It didn't have. It didn't have to
even
be.
If it was another, even if it was more like
humans messing with stuff that's bigger than themselves, sort of.
It could have just been another Monarch fuck up, it was. Kind
of like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You're messing with things that are way out of your league.
Want to wake up this dangerous thing that they know they're not going to be able to control. Do they really think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
That's how we bring balance back?
Or to keep the orca in the movie, they think they can control him, but they can't. And the only person that can put Ghidorah to heal is Godzilla. Their technology isn't working on him. But I can see that. I can see that. That might have been a better way to go.
Yeah, this plot was awful. Can we just be honest with ourselves? The plot was awful.
Yeah, not doing much for me.
This movie plot was not good.
It
wasn't.
It's not
It wasn't.
awful.
Christian.
I mean,
Christian.
He's always trying to.
It's awful.
Oh man, he's always trying to be the voice of reason.
See,
eternal optimist. I know.
When I watched it, I didn't think the plot to me isn't the worst in the world. It's not the worst in the world.
That's what Last Jedi is for.
I see how the human. I can, now that you guys have talked about it, I can see how it could have been done better with the themes of Godzilla, evolving the themes from Godzilla in the original one with war and nuclear warfare and the bombings of Japan, kind of evolving it into dealing with climate change and global warming, and also delving into the theme of like, humans meddling, playing God with things that have existed.
Right, or just going, like you said, just diving further into the theme of humans have really fucked up planet Earth.
Yes.
And
as they are in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think they deal with that in Kong versus Godzilla.
A lot of people get bothered by movies and their agendas and their statements, but guess what? That's what
Godzilla
makes
had an agenda back in the 50s.
Yeah. This goes back decades. I'm not going to call names.
That's most
reality informs artwork. People deal with it.
Yes. See, that's
why I don't like when people say, game developers, I don't want politics in my games.
But
basketball players, I don't want politics on the court. Stick to baseball,
they're real people.
basketball.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, people can have opinions.
To a point, like
They're
to
not
a point,
drones built
and
to just
we've been
entertain.
over this with Star Wars and mainly a lot of things in the Star Wars universe. But to a point, I get that way too. It's escapism. When I go to the theater and I'm watching this sci-fi or this fantasy movie, I want to escape the real world to a degree. But if you introduce agendas, or not even agendas, I don't want to. That has such negative connotation nowadays. Or themes or lessons into the movie, and they work and they contribute something, then I'm all for it. Like Godzilla, like they could have done better in this particular movie with.
Right.
They were making it work.
In the writing room would have helped.
They were making it work with Godzilla and even Kong, of having that undertone of human error.
They're not forced.
Yeah.
These things aren't forced.
Right.
So,
arrogance of man.
And this King of Monsters kind of derails that. It's like they have all these artificial plot devices that aren't needed, like Jonah and the orca even.
And the whale.
The orca. And it's the stupid thing is like, well, orca was originally designed for whales. It's like, great, keep it that way and keep it out of the movie. Save it for the fucking whales. We don't want the orca. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Well, I guess
I think they could have named this movie something different too. I know this isn't related, but just like the name, it gets you hyped for a sec. But then you're like, okay, you're expecting a movie where it's going to be Godzilla just like battling either a bunch of different monsters in some sort of gauntlet until he is the king, or one big monster that took over, which it is, but just not enough of it. Like that could have been the whole movie. Instead, it should have been called something like Godzilla Rise of the Titans or something, or
that would have been kind of
probably
better
at the time. Rise of the whatever. It's way overused, probably especially this year.
Didn't it come out the same year as Rise of Skywalker? Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Right?
Did it?
2019?
I think it did. 2019.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Jeez.
So there we go. Okay, so don't use that. Or Godzilla versus the Titans. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Something like that classic title. Godzilla versus whatever. Like, keep that structure.
Yeah.
What?
Godzilla. I don't know.
Godzilla and the three-headed prick.
I get the main thing I like this movie in terms of the family that we're dealing with in this film. It's more interesting and it's better performed.
If you say so.
Bryan Cranston notwithstanding.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bryan Cranston notwithstanding. The family in this movie is more interesting than the one in the last Godzilla film. And I actually am a little bit invested in them. A little bit.
Well,
because in the chat, I told Spencer, I was like, I didn't care for shit about Kyle Chandler's character. I thought it was stupid. Like, the motivation was stupid. And I completely miscalculated his motivation in this movie. I completely forgot that it was because he was a victim of the Godzilla attack or incident. But it makes sense. It makes sense how it is in the movie on a on a molecular level involving the family, it makes sense. Maybe on a grand narrative scope, it could have been done better with what we talked about. But with the family unit that we're dealing with, I actually appreciate it. And I'm more invested and interested in the human family this time around. And I will say Millie Bobby Brown is a fantastic actress. Fantastic. Even in this Godzilla movie, she's fantastic. Very authentic performance. I get that she's like a teenager.
Yeah.
Like she acts like a real teenager. Kind of like how John Connor acts like an actual kid in Judgment Day. As per Nostalgia Critic mentions in his video. But
I'm going to be honest, she didn't really do much for me.
No? What about the performance, though?
No. I didn't care for it. I mean, she wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, wow, this child actor is really
I mean, I didn't
it.
have a
like,
tear going down my eye.
She's about as good as most.
I thought it was very authentic and realistic for who her character was supposed to be, and that's why I like it. But I don't care for the mom as much.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga is a great actress, and again,
but she has one expression
fine,
through this whole movie.
Not great. Yeah, not great in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. No, you know, honestly, besides Bradley and
Coop. No, I'm just kidding.
Kyle Chandler?
Mm-hmm. Kyle Chandler, who
plays Mark. He plays Mark.
Who does he remind you of?
In the army woman. I liked her.
Yeah, the black woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
I liked her and her performance. And then Bradley... and then Surasawa obviously was great. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's great all the time.
Yeah.
He's actually at the top of the list, if we're being real honest.
He takes Bryan Cranston's top spot.
Yeah.
But he won't have it for very long.
No, Act 1 is kind of a... All right, cool.
I mean,
Let's
it ends
get
on
the
a
human
big
stuff
note,
out of the
but
way.
reveal could have been better.
Then, it teases and it's like, oh, but we're done with this fight, actually. And
Aisha Hines.
Save it for the
I wanted to name
climax.
the actress. Aisha Hines is the name of the Colonel Diane.
What's her name again?
The Colonel.
Colonel Diane what?
I didn't.
What's her name again? What's her name
Actress's
again?
name is Aisha Hines.
I took her out. It was a Friday night. I work alone to get the feeling right. We started making out, and she took off her pants. That's when I turned on the
Diane
TV.
Foster, Colonel Diane
And that's
Foster.
about the time she walked away from me.
Or Blink
Nobody
182.
likes you when you're 23.
Thanks.
I
Blink
still stayed
182,
and watched
everybody.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters to me. What the F for age again? What?
Who is that? Blink 182.
What's my age again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was my jam.
All right. Well,
What did we move back to yet?
that was this episode's musical performance.
Musical number.
Musical minute with Spencer.
Do we want to move to Act 2 yet?
Yeah, let's do that.
Musical minute with
semi-good.
Spencer.
I think
like
we're
that.
we're ready for Act 2.
When it gets semi-good, Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things beyond our understanding, Mark. We must accept them and learn from them. Because these moments of crisis are also potential moments of faith. A time when we either come together or fall apart. Nature always has a wheel balancing itself. The only question is, what part will we play?
Did you just make that up?
No. I really did a fortune cookie once. I really love fortune cookie.
Act 2. We find out Emma is behind the whole Titan takeover plan. She thinks by releasing the Titans that they will restore balance with the world and the environment, killing half the planet's people and saving the rest. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Mark thinks that plan sucks. But they start the evacuation process in Mexico where Ice Cube Jr. rounds up the population. But just when you think this plan is good, out of the volcano emerges Rodan, the flying lava titan. Very cool, very terrifying. They lead him to Monster Zero and they fight. But then Godzilla fights Zero, and the government releases their new never-before-mentioned oxygen bomb and kills Godzilla, but not Zero. Mark is pissed, Maddie's pissed, Serizawa's pissed. Zero calls out to the Titans, awakening a bunch of them, and then the plan has backfired. Mothra is officially born as Mothra. She pops out of the cocoon. Monarch runs into a storm on the high sea. They plan to bomb Godzilla to wake him up. Meanwhile, Titans all over the world are wreaking havoc, while we learn Zero's name is King Ghidorah, and he's an alien controlling the other Titans. He's not from Earth. Rodan is his head security guard. Back at sea, he's kind of like the, what's Megatron's guy? Starscream or whatever. That's him. Back at sea, Mothra shows up and sweeps away the storm and makes her mating call to Zills. Maddie sends out the Orca frequency and the Titans stop attacking Earth for a second. Deep under the sea, Serizawa makes the sacrifice and gives his life to bring Godzilla back. Godzilla awakens and heads to battle. First thing I want to say real quick. When Mothra showed up and just was hovering over the sea, did that remind you of like Aunt in a May, video game Aunt when May, you get to a level?
Is that an angel?
Sure.
Anyway, what were you saying, Spencer?
In a video game, like in a video game level, like let's say it's a final boss or something happens that causes this level, and there's just like that in the background. Like if you're not engaging with the character, they just continue to do what they're doing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's the final
like
boss,
NPC,
he'll just do the same
non-playable character.
He'll do the same routine. 3 moves, and if you get close, you can interact with it. But if you're ignoring it, like you don't have to fight the boss, but he'll just still be there doing the same 3 moves.
I see what
until
you're
you
saying.
Get close to it. Because she was just standing, like hovering, just flapping away. Beautiful shot, and I also want to say, Mothra is not featured in this movie enough.
Yep.
As Mothra.
You're right.
Like, they did her dirty. Like, she's the queen of the monsters, and she gets shafted in this film.
Well,
like
I think part of the problem with the movie,
her wings in the waterfall.
Yeah, with the waterfall.
And then we're not going to use her, really.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
But Spencer, I think a theme with the movie in general is just it's trying to pack. It's trying to pack. What's the saying?
Budge.
A 5-pound. It's trying to pack a 10-pound lunch in a 5-pound bag. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Nope.
Yep.
Never heard that one before.
I'm probably screwing it up.
Joel,
screwing it up.
Let me put it in terms you might understand.
Here we go.
It's like you have 10 apples. Marcus has 3 apples. You need a bag. Marcus's apples his bag fits 3 apples. And he says, "Here, borrow my bag." And you try to put your 10 apples in the 3 apple bag. Or when you're going, have you ever been to an orchard and it's a pick your own? You get like, oh, I'm going to pay the $10 to get the giant bag, and you're really trying to stuff one of every apple from the lanes in there, and it gets to the top, and you just need one more, and you just keep losing your apples, and you can't tie it. Or picture it picture it even like this. One size fits most, but when you try it on, it doesn't fit. It's telling you, yo, this is going to fit. Everything you need is going to fit in this bag. Look at this. We have a laptop pocket. You can put your gym shorts in there. You can fit your shoes in there. But when you're trying to fit... Okay, when you get a game system, it comes in a box, okay? And everything fits perfectly in it. When you take it out and you try to re-put it back in yourself, you can't do it. You're like, there's no way it fit in here. It's like that. Or remember when you used to get little Transformer dolls? They come already transformed. Figures. They come as their transformed form. Yeah. And then you try to transform it, and you did it once. You untransformed it, but you can't transform it again. You're like, there's no way. This doesn't make sense. How it was... that it's never going to get back to that. But then you accidentally hit the right joint, and you do get it, and then you never play with it again because you're like, I want it in this form, and if I ruin it and untransform it, I'll never be able to get to this point again. So to go with Christian's analogy, it's like fitting a 5-pound bag into a 2-ounce Ziploc. That's kind of what he means.
What were we talking about originally? What is this
what we were
for?
Gonna talk about?
I don't even remember.
He mentioned what he wanted to talk about real quick. What were you talking about, Spencer?
Fitting too many monsters in it?
Too many monsters. Mothra got screwed. Here, I'm going to kind of move on from that. Here's where we learn at the intro of the act the motive behind the eco-terrorists. And Joel mentioned it earlier in his tirade against the human antagonist. Their motivation is they want to release all the Titans so that they can reclaim the planet from humanity. That's the closest we get to the themes that we were talking about: climate change, human destruction, whatever.
But
that's as close as we get. We got to unleash the Titans, because everywhere they go, the radiation that they produce, it creates life.
Which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, to a certain degree it does, but to another degree it doesn't. But that's their motivation. They're going around, and number one, they unleash the right one at first. Mothra, that's all good. She's benevolent. She's good. But then they go into Antarctica to unleash monsters. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
They go to Antarctica to unleash... Okay, you did something. I thought your mic cut out. But they go to Antarctica, unleash Monster Zero, and this is where we get into the theme of them not understanding what they're dealing with. Because they didn't understand that Monster Zero was extraterrestrial. It's not part of the natural order.
Which I also hate.
It's not part of the natural order. They thought they were reestablishing the natural order, but Ghidorah is from the cosmos.
Yep.
So they're actually counterproductive to their goal.
I know. The whole thing is convoluted. Convoluted.
Yeah.
It's convoluted. The entire thing.
Good job. You did it. You finished the word.
No, I hated the fact that they made Ghidorah extraterrestrial, and I don't even give a shit if it's source material talking. I don't care what happened in the original.
I don't know it's source material, to be honest.
Either way, it's unnecessary.
Why is that so bad?
It just makes this movie more messy.
I don't think so.
But let me tell you what, it all
stems.
It all stems. First of all, yeah, they kind of try to go along with like the humans ruin everything theme, but it's backwards of what we were just talking about. You know, like, so
elaborate.
It's just like this cliche derivative. Oh, humans are the infection. Pollution is bad. Blah 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 type of thing. which, yes, it's kind of what we were saying, but
it's not the main focus.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's not subtle either.
Somehow it fell backwards. Like, our thing, what we were saying is taking the pollution thing and the global warming and greenhouse gas, whatever, and maybe applying that to where, global warming is getting so bad that Ghidorah's ice cube melted.
It's kind of making us a passive villain.
Yeah, this is saying it's like I don't know, it was backwards. I forgot what I was trying to say with this, but it all felt backwards. It felt like they were too late in introducing this plot point. It's like they just kind of shoved it in there. It's like, well, now we're going to talk about how humans are the problem. It's like, no, that should have been at the beginning of the movie. It should have been to where we caused Ghidorah to, not artificially caused, but like more naturally cause and steadily cause the rise of Ghidorah instead of some assholes blowing up the glacier.
You preferred to know the motivation earlier instead of having it be set up as a mystery?
At least.
Like, who are these guys? Why did they just barge in and shoot these people?
Right.
Okay.
I would have at least had this known to us earlier, or I don't know. I
like the idea of making all of humanity passive antagonist through climate change.
A lot of movies do that.
I think what I'm trying to say
is that cliche, like, they're not the virus, we are.
I see, like, it was a good, the idea is right, but the execution, just one of these things where the execution of it was off.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Fine, reuse an idea, but do it well.
It's similar to Rise of Skywalker.
It worked with Thanos.
Right.
For me, Rise of Skywalker has some solid concepts with, like, the dyad and that sort of thing. But the execution of the plot, the chase for the Wayfinder, all that stuff, it was just poorly executed. But the ideas were there. I think, you find that in projects, maybe big and large, but just need more time in the oven, more thought out, I guess.
Yeah, and it just
making
felt backwards.
It's a difference between having all. This is kind of a cliche. I mean, we're the virus, we're the infection, we're the ones killing, like the Lorax and that sort of thing. But to do it with Godzilla,
the Lorax did it well.
The Lorax is in your face about it, whereas this could have been a theme of the movie, not something that is told to the audience, I guess. But
or commit to that. Like, it would have been much better. Like I said, put that at the beginning. Like, have that be the issue from the get-go. Make that the motivation of everything. Make that make that why Ghidorah ends up breaking free from the iceberg or whatever the hell. Like, it's because of us. It's because
we fucked up
natural phenomenon or natural irregularities, and we screwed up the environment, the blah blah blah. Commit to it.
We
don't
contributed
shoehorn
to
it in and be like, have it as a gotcha moment. At this point in the film. That's what I think that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ghidorah could have been released more accidentally instead of on purpose and having a planned backfire.
I guess in the
that
way
would have been more consequential.
The way it happens in the movie. I'm sorry, Spencer. Go ahead. The way it happens in the movie.
It would have, like, instead of having a specific human antagonist terrorist group, which we didn't need, it's having humans realize, yikes, we did this, and now you're right, we can't kill Godzilla. We need Godzilla again because
you guys are right. It's just dawning on me how little impact the terrorists have in this movie. Because they unleash Ghidorah, and then it's all shit from there.
Like, the reason they're in this film is just because they can blow up the ice cube and
The only reason
they just
in the
needed
film,
they needed
Ghidorah's
somebody
here.
to blame Ghidorah's release on.
Yeah,
It's
when
like,
it could
let's
have
have yeah.
both ways that we're talking about it both deals with human interference, human error causing the release of Ghidorah. This way in the movie, how it is because of force. But this is because of force. The way it could have been, and arguably should have been, could have been accidental.
Yeah.
Like just a consequence of our meddling with powers that we don't know about, that sort of thing. I like that better. I think you're right, because maybe you could have made Charles Dance a scientist at Monarch or something.
Yeah.
Like a mad scientist who goes rogue. I don't know. But then again, we go to the forcing the conflict thing. But I like what you're meaning, accidental. Because even in Jurassic Park, John Hammond did the same thing. Like, was it a mistake bringing the dinosaurs back? Mm-hmm. Like that sort of theme.
It just works better in that, though.
Yeah.
But and that's like something that'd been extinct. Ghidorah was there. These Titans are here. Anyway, there's more to this act too than what we've been saying. I did like it. Had a lot of beautiful shots, like that shot of the cross with Ghidorah in the background, like on that mountain. Now, Joel, are you familiar with the cross?
Don't even.
Do we need to?
Nope.
Do we need to go into it, or do you want me to let that? Joke
Wait a
go?
minute. I'm hearing the choir. No.
No, but the cross.
I think I hear God's voice.
They're showing kind of like Ghidorah. Ghidorah is now the king. Like Godzilla's been defeated, but not even by him. It's just they threw out this. Oh, one more negative thing, and then we can just talk about the positives. There is never. I can't recall a more shoehorned, forced thing in than this oxygen bomb that we've never heard of.
Oh, yeah.
And this random cameo by the guy from Godzilla. Hey, why don't we just drop this oxygen bomb we've been working on him? It'll kill him. Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, Spencer. This is what it went. This is what it went. Attention. We've developed. You guys better get out of there. Bye. And then he fucking leaves frame.
That was the most forced moment.
And you never see the guy again. You never see that actor again, ever. Mm-hmm.
It's like there was more to it that they're like, yo, we got to cut out all this or else it's going to be a 4-hour movie.
It's like, who's on the phone, damn it?
Movie.
Oh, it's General Paxton. Get him on the line. Hey, you guys got 2 minutes to get out of the area.
We need to wait for Godzilla to lose.
Oh, and then to top it off, they kill the only thing. They kill the only thing that will help them.
It's so stupid. Going back to the Orca, the alpha frequency, though, the thing that I was going to say, Mothra's reaction to it, if you notice, isn't because Mothra is an alpha herself, so her reaction isn't like, I must follow the all-powerful alpha signal. She's like, what the hell is this? You know what, I'll check this out. What do we got here? She's curious instead of like submissive to it, because she's an alpha, it doesn't really affect her.
True.
She's like, well, that's very interesting. I would look into this. Yeah, she's Queen of the Monsters, which could have been a great movie, Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, or just give Mothra a movie. Like, give Mothra a movie. Because her whole thing is like she protects Hawaii or something, doesn't she? Anyway, give Mothra a movie. She could be reborn.
I can't remember where they found her, to be honest, at the beginning.
I don't remember either, but I think from like the lore,
hold on, let me
Mothra is from Hawaii. Well, the Mothra movie, an expedition to Infant Island discovers a native population and tiny twin priestesses of the island's mythical deity named Mothra. She sets out on a rampage to rescue her priestesses after they're kidnapped by a greedy businessman. So, but then here's the thing. There is movies, Rebirth of Mothra. A new Mothra takes to the air and must battle Death Ghidorah to save humanity. So, she could come back. She could come back.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say where they are at the beginning on the wiki. Where Mothra was found. But
some islands.
Yeah, it was. What do you want to talk about? The Rodan thing? Because we get
the Rodan scene is really cool. Really terrifying. Yeah, let's
really
talk about that for a little bit.
Yep.
Okay,
it was a little
great. And now what about?
Yeah. Some of the cinematography, it was cool. I mean, there's nothing really to write home about with him awakening. See, the thing that I think is missing from this movie are the grand introductions of the monsters. Like, we get the airport shot of Godzilla in 2014 and the roar. This movie, I don't think we get that for any of them. I mean,
Mothra,
they try to do it in a different way. Mothra gets a beautiful introduction, yeah, with the wings opening up under the waterfall. That's beautiful. And then later on with the sun, with her coming down like the Triforce out of heavens. But we don't get for the villains, or the quote-unquote villains. Rodan coming out of the volcano. I mean, it's cool looking, but you don't get the build-up, the anticipation like you did with Godzilla for him or for Ghidorah or Monster Zero, I think. And the shots, like, they tried to show that in the last act with, here's Godzilla and Ghidorah, their arch enemies of the classic films, and they'd have that big epic wide shot. But it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me, that wide shot.
I see what you're saying. I would agree a little bit. I'm not a fan of the point of view. I wish Mothra was used a little bit better in this.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the point of view camera angles a lot with the shaky cam.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think they could even, like...
I'm not a fan of the documentary style filmmaking cinematography.
They could have done better with Rodan just overall, because I was a tad underwhelmed with Rodan in general. And it sucks, because, like, he's the one I wanted to like a lot. Like, when you...
They underutilized him, too.
Yeah. And, I don't know.
His design's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the flaming wings, I think that's an improvement from his classic design.
Oh, yeah. Design is not an issue with any of these monsters. It's just how they're used.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like...
how they're introduced, how they're used.
Use them? Can you stop, please?
Right.
This damn cat.
There was... Coming to you live from a studio audience. But I like Rodan... There was one shot, it was really cool, when it's trying to go after the Monarch ship, the Monarch base, the flying base, whatever. There was one cool shot where it, like, swoops over, and it shows him swoop before the camera and starts chasing it as they're going into the storm. Pretty cool. You get a cool moment, reveal moment of Ghidorah inside the storm. That was cool. Yeah. I thought that was cool. But some of the stuff, like... how those army men with those two civilians, there was no fucking way, that they survived hanging onto those pillars and whatever.
Well, apparently they did.
They were running down the street, and Rodan flies overhead and basically creates a mighty tailwind behind them, blowing everybody and everything, except this building stays up. And they're holding onto these pillars, and they're like, "Don't let go, my son," or whatever. And those two army men, and I was like, okay, the only reason you're alive is because you are part of the ensemble.
Yeah.
Like, and then we got to have this side thing where we have to get the helicopter back into the plane. We have to get the civilians back into the plane. You know?
Yeah,
and that's why
crash lands.
Kyle Chandler goes down to the hangar bay and releases the thing, and they crash land inside. And it's and also this is what Kyle Chandler looks like through the whole movie.
That's really
that's
good.
What Kyle Chandler looks like in everything.
He's a joy, though. I like
Mothra's here. Like, yeah, it's like that thing killed my wife. You better take it out right now, or whatever. Like, or killed my son. I don't care who lives or dies. Like, I'm getting a little bit of Harrison Ford vibes.
Yeah.
I can see Harrison Ford in this movie.
So they wanna cut this out.
Bedtime for Spencer.
Killed my wife.
Yeah, no, so Godzilla's rebirth plan, fine, I guess. I guess. I did get it. It was sentimental and emotional enough for me to appreciate Serizawa having to go sacrifice himself, and then having
I liked it.
Bradley Whitford's character. You know, it's been an honor or whatever, like a nice little moment. And then he gets to go up close, and he takes the helmet off, knowing he's gonna die, so it doesn't matter anyway. And he touches Godzilla. And he, you know, goodbye, old friend, in Japanese. I loved that. I did.
Yep.
I liked that. I liked it a lot.
Standout highlight of the movie. Yep.
Yeah, and just seeing him sleep, like, oh, this is where he hangs out. This
And
is his underground. Oh, shoot! Something I forgot to mention from Act 1. Speaking of hanging out, the Hollow Earth theory is mentioned again. Keep an eye on that. That's a
Who
recurring
mentions
thing,
that?
and that's how they think Godzilla. I can't remember. I think it's
how he navigates.
Rick Stanton.
It's
It's the
Stanton.
tunnels. There's a
He thinks they're like, oh, it's like wormholes. That's how he gets
I'm
around.
telling you, man, he's climbing
So,
through the tunnels.
Hollow
See, that's
Earth.
how he's getting so fast.
Sure.
Bradley Cooper. Bradley
nice
Whitford,
little touch of humor finally in a Godzilla movie when Serizawa was like saying all this stuff, and he's like, oh, where'd you hear that from? And he's like, a fortune cookie. Or something. I can't remember.
A really long
line,
fortune
right?
cookie.
Yeah. No, I think these Godzilla movies take themselves too seriously is the thing. That's why Bradley Whitford works so well. But what's another thing? I was just going to say it. I just had
keep
it.
Keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. But I'm with you on the Serizawa thing. And I got to be honest with you, I was watching this movie pretty late at night, so I was falling asleep a little bit before this sequence came up. When Serizawa sacrificed himself, I was getting a little sleepy-eyed. But I woke up and was watching the movie after that. Very good moment. The music's really good. Like the hymnal kind of somber choral. Like this place, it's almost like a holy place. Like, this is where Godzilla's domain. Yeah, it's a temple. Exactly.
Temple. I remember what I was
Except you don't get lost in this place.
No.
You don't get turned around.
It's pretty hard to... You follow the blue light.
Yep. Follow the blue light.
Speaking of Serizawa, do you guys feel like he's kind of only in these movies to just have these really dramatic one-liners at the end of each scene?
I feel like he could do more.
Let them fight. He could, like, his lines are all, like, one-line things that are super dramatic, and I can't remember any from this movie, really, because they're not memorable, I guess, but it's like, okay, we need something cool, like, how do we end the scene? You know what? Why don't I just say something kind of cool? Perfect. We're going to do that. I'll do it. Okay?
Well, we could have seen more of him, actually, like, what is his expertise? What does he do? What is his study? What is his, like, ology? What does he study? Why is he an expert on Godzilla? Like, why did he call him old friend? Because of the... Excuse me. Because of the bombings?
Possibly.
Or the... No, that's not...
I would have liked that to have been explored a little more.
What I'm trying... Because what is the watch? The watch is from his grandfather, correct? Or his father?
From Hiroshima.
Yes.
Hiroshima.
Yes. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I want to say that there's a connection with that. Because Godzilla being connected to the bombings in real world, like an inspiration. Again. Yeah. But...
The watch.
Yeah. Very cool that he...
But kind of a...
Doesn't he set it in front of Godzilla? Or he has it with him?
He has it with him. I think he pulls it out to, like, look at it one more time before he goes, but yeah. But Godzilla then is just like, I'm up. He doesn't hit snooze.
Well, he got his medication, Spencer. He got his medication. These nukes are basically pills for him. They're like, take one A-bomb 3 times a day, but only take the hydrogen bomb last. Like,
do not overdose. You will become a bomb.
Do not overdose.
Hey,
Make
Godzilla,
sure you eat something.
You're looking a little glowy.
Yeah.
You're glowing. How many did you take? 3. Yeah, you're supposed to take one every 3 hours. Yeah, but I thought if I just took 3
I'll be good for
right
the
off
day.
the bat, I wouldn't have to worry about remembering every hour. I
thought if I took them all at once, it would compound and heal me faster.
Godzilla, that's called an overdose, pal. And you're a literal bomb now. So. Yikes.
Well, that was some fun theater.
You want to get in on this? Drink some water.
And then Rodan's just like, all right, who's in charge here? Because I'm second in command to whoever that is. I'm running security detail on this. Hey, get them out of the storm. Get them out of the storm. Tell them, tell them if they want to talk to King Ghidorah, they're going to have to talk to me first. If they want to see him, do they have an appointment? The appointment they're going to pay for? They're not going to pay for it. They don't have an appointment. They can't get in the storm. Nope, the storm is closing in 5 minutes. We already started. The registers are counted, if I may. King Ghidorah's off. He's out. If you can talk to me, I'll relay the message. I can take a message. You're gonna drop a bomb. Okay, thank you.
Is Rodan
Godzilla's back.
Is he a security head or is he a secretary?
Both.
Is he Pam or is he?
He's both.
The guy in the lobby.
He's everybody. He's his second-hand man. He's Dwight.
When you said that, when you said that in your breakdown, I thought of Ghidorah wearing like a police hat in a little uniform.
King Ghidorah's office, Rodan speaking. How may I help you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. This is actually super important. King Ghidorah. Monarch's on the phone. They said, I understand, but they said Godzilla's back. He's back. I know we thought he died from the bomb. No, he's back. I don't know how. Another bomb or something, and then a Mothra. She came out of the cocoon. She's born, so she's back. We did not. It was on our agenda to get to that and to get the cocoon. We didn't. We thought it was a larva. We're going to be harmless. We actually tried to recruit her, but no, she's also a factor. Now, do you want me to take care of her or Godzilla? I know you're the king. I just thought I would ask. I will take care of her. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I just can't wait to be king.
And you have a 5 o'clock.
Stop it.
You have a 5 o'clock with the Leviathan. Okay, thank you. And the Mutos are here. I told them to wait in the lobby, but they're here. You want me to send them in now? I'll send them in.
And then he turns into Jay Jonah
with this shit.
He turns into J.K. Simmons.
Crap.
Thank you.
Mega crap.
With the buzzer.
Thank you.
Oh, man. King
Okay,
Ghidorah.
what were we talking about? Oh, Serizawa and Waking Up Godzilla. I actually like how they kind of help you empathize with Godzilla a little bit by showing the close-up on his eye.
Yeah, he's tired.
Like, as he sees Serizawa, and you kind of see his eye. It doesn't look as reptilian or as sinister.
No. It's
I like how they showed that.
Him.
Yeah. It did look kind of like he almost recognized him.
You were
because
for me.
Yeah, I really that's one of my favorite parts. Just that sequence. It's really good. I like the set design. The temple looks really cool. It's just otherworldly because of that hollow earth thing. And when the bomb went off, the pill went off, and they get blasted through with this beautiful hymnal music playing, and the sub breaches the ocean surface. I almost wanted the force. I wanted the nuke to kind of just launch them, just
out of the water, just whoo,
and then just.
I need
fly
some
into
more of
the
those.
atmosphere. Fly into the atmosphere, and we're in the upper atmosphere.
Sweet?
We can't get back.
If that had happened, but you put Evanescence in the background, it kind of comes in as the bomb blows up, and then wake me up inside. And it just shoots out of the water. Save me!
And then you'd have Kyle Chandler on the sub is going into the atmosphere, just looking like
somebody playing Evanescence. I thought it fit, sir.
Emma, you're nuts.
That would have been Bradley Whitford's character. He'd have just been playing that on his like iPod Touch. Just
he's just like mouthing his words.
Sorry.
On his earbuds. Yeah.
You just barely hear it in the earbuds. It goes from like non-diegetic to diegetic. You know that transition. It's like, and then it cuts to his earbuds.
Really, really touching moment. Serizawa self-sacrifice, and you got him in his earbuds, just jamming to Evanescence. That's my coping mechanism. That's my coping sound.
Sorry.
But anyway, Godzilla's back. He comes up. He has this kind of Captain Ahab, Moby Dick moment.
There it is again.
Here you
White
go.
whale moment. It actually is kind of like that. They're on the ocean and they look each other in the eye, and Godzilla has this moment with them, and the other humans, and they kind of get on, like, I don't know if they're telekinetic, I don't know, but they kind of get on the same page. It's almost like they understand each other now, and they understand that they need one another, or they need to, like, you know, Godzilla's here to stay, sort of thing, and we need his help. We can't go blowing him up with an oxygen destroyer and killing the only thing that can help us.
Right.
So, do you guys want to know what all the Titans are in King of the Monster?
Oh, sure.
Name them off. Go for it.
Start with wait.
Because they happen in Act 2. Like, they just start showing up.
Start with the mammoth ape.
Yeah.
I will. We have, well, obviously Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, Rodan, and then the new Muto.
Yeah.
There is a Muto. The thing that comes out of the ground with like the claws is Skyla. He resembles a spider.
Yeah.
Behemoth. That's the mammoth thing.
Yeah.
Where it's weird. Like, that's a cool design because it's like, it walks like a gorilla. It has really long like front arms, and its back legs like swing. It's like a gorilla.
Yeah.
And then Methuselah, that's the one that's in the mountain that we only see like its face kind of. And that's it. That's who we see. So those are all of them that were.
Y'all watched Detective Pikachu, right?
Yes, love it.
This is relevant. Great movie. Hope there's a sequel so we can cover it. But I think it's Methuselah, the one that you mentioned, reminded me of Torterra, the Torterra garden in that film.
Yes.
The way it rose out of the ground.
Yup.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Very cool.
But
so
the guy,
Mothra's beautiful in this movie, by the way. I just wish
when you can see her.
I just wish we'd seen more of her.
You really get to see her in the next act, though, in action. But now she's kind of obscured behind heavenly light and beautiful visuals, which is good. That's fine. But did you guys notice that the scientist who's monitoring Mothra as she hatches from the cocoon? That's the same guy, Brooks. Dr. Brooks from Kong Skull Island. Yeah. That's something I discovered when I was looking up stuff for the movie when we did our Kong episode. Cool. That's the same character, the Hollow Earth theory that he came up with, that comes back, as you said. But that is the same character. And I was kind of hoping...
Same character from what?
Kong, the black guy with the glasses, the scientist who's talking about his Hollow Earth theory.
Is this the same actor? Because
it's not the same actor, it's the same character.
So
same character.
So an older version?
Yes.
Is he older? I guess I can't pinpoint. I don't remember. But very cool detail there.
He's in the scene
Little Burks.
right when Mothra hatches, when they're in their base, right beforehand.
I believe you.
You'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
That scene.
Maybe.
But
all right, you wanna go Act 3?
one more thing that I think is cool.
Yep.
Joel's like,
Still
I won't
that
shut
fucking
up.
kid raising his hand after the bell
You know
rang.
who we haven't talked about was Maddie, how she kind of steals the thing, has her own little subplot.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about it because it's stupid, but go ahead, Christian.
But she's so good, though. She's such a good performer in this
They
role.
end up at Fenway Park, by the way. That's where we are.
Yep. Diamond City,
But
if you
say your
played
thing.
Fallout 4. But I like how each of these monsters, and this is what I was talking about earlier, reminding me about the elements. They kind of represent an element of some sort. Either a classic element or like an element from like in modern sci-fi, like, or Pokemon, like electricity, fire, water. You got Mothra, which is kind of air or wind. Rodan is fire.
Fucking Avatar. What is this?
Ghidorah is electricity. Godzilla, what would he be? Like, I'm not so sure I would say fire. I almost want to say water because he's aquatic. He lives in the water.
But it breathes.
But that's actually not
He's his
fire
own
breath. It's atomic
legendary.
breath. It's radioactive breath.
So he's atomic. He's radioactive. That's his type. Radioactive dragon.
I'm so inactive. Weird Al. But yeah, that's just something I noticed. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
I would agree. And they all have their own color. Like Ghidorah's yellow, Rodan's red, Godzilla's blue.
Yeah.
Mothra is, I guess, also blue.
And we got to mention just special.
Multiple
Well,
color.
Mothra is kind of turquoisey.
White, I guess.
Aqua.
Like that white.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Aquamarine. There you go. But yeah, all the countries live together in harmony. And then the fire monster, the electric monster attacked. That was my really, really crappy Avatar reference.
I know.
I apologize for that.
That was great.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Act 3?
Just leave.
Yes.
No, I'm good.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Long live the king.
Act 3. The fight is on. But we don't get to see much of it because the humans suck all the screen time away from who we really want to see. Maddie runs away, and we just have to find her and watch as her parents drive around. It's great. Godzilla fights Ghidorah while Mothra comes to enter the fight and holds off Rodan. Godzilla gets seismic tossed by Ghidorah, and Mothra apparently has web shooters and a stinger she uses to subdue Rodan, and then take a full blast of lightning to explode into dust, and then she dusts on Godzilla with healing power, and he's Super Saiyan, Mega Evolve, Super Mega Digivolve, Max Power Level, Hulk Smash, and he's a literal walking atomic bomb, melting everything around him. It's awesome. He vaporizes Ghidorah and then smokes his head like a cigar. The humans watch as the Titans all circle up and bow to the true king, and he gives one last triumphant roar. We also get some after credits, during the credits, setting up Kong versus Godzilla with all those cool little news clippings and what's a king to a god and all that. It's very cool. Post-credit scene shows Tywin Lannister going to buy one of the heads of Ghidorah. We'll take it. And before we say anything else, I'd like to insert my... Okay. Well, this underground, like, black market company has the head of one of the heads of Ghidorah, and they're auctioning it off. And Tywin Lannister's like, yeah, we'll take it. And it's setting up, we don't know what.
I thought
like,
I saw a Muto head, too. What? Wasn't there a Muto head?
There was a Muto head at Castle Bravo.
Sure.
Oh, okay, that's where it is. Yeah.
They were studying it.
We've talked about him a little bit.
What the hell was that setting up, though?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I can't tell you.
Nothing yet.
Not nothing. I just can't tell you.
It's gonna... Okay. All right.
So
you gotta shut
our
up.
Character spotlight. I'm just gonna get this out the way. Okay? Character spotlight. Rick Stanton. He's probably the best human character in this. Mainly because he's just having a good time, cracking jokes. Can we just put him in charge of everything? Anyway, I can't exactly remember his title or what he does, but I do know is that he's clearly been around monsters for a while. He's gotten familiar with what makes people scared and how to manipulate a situation. Once it's all said and done, he decides he's got a little side project planned. But first he needs some specimens, and luckily he has access to Godzilla blood and Ghidorah's head before it's auctioned off. He also finds some DNA left over from the monster fight around the world. He takes it to a lab and starts creating. Along the way, he gets caught up with a company simply called The Facility. And he has something they need to continue production. But at this point, he's so far on the run from the government, he has to change his name to just Hadley. He soon finds there's bigger monsters than the Titans, and they require a yearly sacrifice. His research has prepared him for this, and his DNA collections have expanded the inventory the facility has access to. His full-time gig is now helping run the show and monitoring the cabin in the woods. Right? He's in that movie.
Yeah.
I figure he works with monsters, and now he also works with monsters there. So
now he works with demons.
Never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
What?
It's a great movie. It's kind of a horror satire. It's not really that scary, Joel.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I've watched it.
Really?
It's funny. It a lot. It's one of my favorite quote-unquote horror movies. It is kind of a comical look at things.
Oh, it's hilarious how Chris...
But it's not meant to be.
Chris Hemsworth dies in hilarious fashion.
It is meant to be.
Okay.
It is meant to be satirical and funny. Like, yes, it is meant to be funny. It's good. Like, it's a good movie. It's not just, oh, it's so bad it's funny. Like, there's
some nudity in it.
It's scary. Oh, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, Christian.
There's a part when Mark... No. And I think they were trying to mirror when Serizawa says, let them fight. So Mark is like, this time we join the fight. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather you don't. Like, but, we just want to see the monsters. Please do not have more humans in the fight.
Going off of your... Shit, where was I going off of? Going off of your comment about the let them fight. I don't like Stanton's remark, yeah, getting a little Serizawa let them fight action. I love it when he used to say that. Hated that line.
It was a little weird.
Hate's a strong word. I don't like that line. My roommate kept saying, why would he say that? Like, how many times has Serizawa said that in the past? Like, does he say it at
every
parties? Like, say the thing again, Serizawa. Okay. Let them fight.
Let them fight.
Oh, he said it.
Hey, Serizawa. There's a bar fight. There's a bar fight. What should we do? Should we step in and stop, or should we let them fight? Ah!
He's like, did Stanton? I feel like he would only say that if he saw Godzilla in the movie. Like, did he watch Godzilla, the character?
Probably.
And heard Serizawa say that. Like, why? That was annoying. That was annoying. Even though it was supposed to be funny. But Yeah, I actually like the cavalry has arrived scene with Godzilla stomping in from the storm cloud, and then you got fucking guns blazing, aircraft.
But the humans don't affect the fight at all.
No, but it's
They're
symbolic. It's showing
matter.
humanity working with Godzilla in a symbiotic way.
Give me the Titans.
It's showing them.
Give me the Titans.
Oh, and we'll get to that later on. And that silly stuff
give me the
at
Titans
the end.
fight.
Oh no, I'll say it right now. The end sequence in the credits with the news clipping stuff, very cool. They did it in the end instead of the beginning this time. Kind of a ring theory, but doesn't really mean anything. I do not like the sort of happy-go-lucky Disney movie ending. Oh, Mammoth Monster helped save the kittens, or whatever. You know what I mean?
You know what I do like about the end credits?
Oh, the spider monster
during the credits?
Helped save the town from a tsunami or whatever. Now it's like...
You were reading them. I didn't catch those.
It was weird. It's too, like, happy ending-esque to me.
I did like, though, since we've been talking about the ending of these acts the whole night, we'll just start with the end. When Godzilla takes his place, and then all the monsters who got there really quick, like they were coming from all over the world, and they're just there, like cool.
Oh,
No, I knew a guy.
Except
Rodan
Kong.
picked me up. Yeah, because he's on an island.
Oh yeah,
they don't
Kong
get.
was
They don't
noticeably
get.
absent.
They don't get Wi-Fi there, or cell signal, so he has no idea about the outside world. But even
He didn't get the alpha
Cool that they
call.
threw in a Muto. Cool that they threw in a Muto.
Right.
From Godzilla 2014. Oh, I mean a different one, but one of the babies survived.
I gotta tell you,
all the monsters that does that circle shot showing them all bowing, and then Godzilla's like, fuck yeah.
that's all cool. But then the movie ends abruptly. Okay, so that's a thing with both of these movies. You know your basic plot chart where you have the rising action, and then you get to the climax, and then you usually have a resolution. Falling action, kind of closing out the movie, calming everything down. This one, basically, climax, straight down. There's no, like, ending resolutionary moment. There's no, like, calm down period. There's no getting off the high moment to kind of wrap things up. It's just, oh, Godzilla's king of the monsters, he roars, and cut the credits.
But
that's it.
Yeah.
The credits are sweet because of the little clippings setting up Kong and stuff. But we also get the song. We get like a cover of the song, which is pretty hype.
It is pretty hype.
It would have been even better if they'd have played it as he was entering the fight, though. I think. But it was a cool little, like, in Iron Man, when he says, I am Iron Man, and then Iron Man plays. That's fine.
It would have been kind of cool.
And everybody bows.
Would have been kind of cool.
Oh man, the post credits should have been they're on Skull Island, and then Kong just gets word. He's on his giant phone. He's like, what? He said he's king?
This is fucking whose line?
He made it out
this?
of the helicopters from 74.
You know what? I'm gonna come over there, and we'll see who the real king is.
He used all the...
We'll see who the real king really is.
Yeah.
Like, Kong, you can talk, and he's like, I mean, but also yes.
I guess
It
Godzilla
would've
isn't
been cool,
invited
like, he
to
gets
the
word.
party either.
No.
With the tiki torches, along with the skull dwellers or skull crawlers.
This entire thing is making me really want to watch
Kong versus Godzilla.
Kong. Yeah,
Do it.
the
Just
last
watch
one.
Joel will do it. Me and Joel will watch it. Spencer, go fuck yourself because you watched it
Yeah,
without
that's
us.
what I get. That's
Joel?
what I get. We'll watch Space Jam together. Although I'm not going
Did
to be able
you
to
watch
wait.
Justice League
long.
already?
Who are you talking to?
I haven't.
You.
We're talking about King of the
Did
Monsters,
you watch it?
Christian.
He
Yep,
did.
my answer is yes.
He
He's
did, you fucker. We're supposed to
I
watch
cannot...
that.
Listen, I'll hold off on Space Jam.
He has no patience because he's a child.
Yeah. I don't know when I'll be able to watch movies, so I have to just watch them. But Space Jam,
Man.
I'm not going to be able to wait long, but you need to know I'm in it with you guys. Space Jam, because
All
we're going
right.
to watch it for the pod.
You guys,
heard it here
I
first.
have.
Act 3.
I wanted. Okay, I'm not going to pick that bone here, time and place, but
I know, I'm sorry.
we got to watch these movies together like we used to.
I feel bad. Does that help?
But Joel,
We'll go see Black Widow together.
okay,
I want to
yeah,
see that in
I'm
theaters.
down for
Anyway,
that.
King of the Monsters. They're all bowing. It's cool. All of them are like, yes. And then, like, you'd think, oh, maybe we see them later. Just, spoiler, not a spoiler. We don't see any of them in the next movie. But anyway, the third.
Why did you just
the
say
fight
that?
Could have been. Dude, the fight could have been way better because we could have actually seen it instead of it just kind of being in the background. And Mothra versus Rodan could have been way better, but
Yeah.
and then she just has a stinger, which is cool, but let's see them fight a little more, and maybe she doesn't have to die.
Spencer,
Like,
Yeah.
right?
when I agree with what you're saying, like I like the drama, I like the family aspect better in this movie. I care slightly about those characters, but we're watching a Godzilla movie and we're in the final act of the movie. We should be watching kaiju battling, not family drama looking for my lost daughter stuff.
I do not give a shit that
I
she's
know.
hiding in a bathtub.
Right. Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Great, she ran off for why is she even in this movie? What is she doing?
Let's be done with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys
I mean, I'm not saying
kill the
kill her,
kid.
but I'm saying that's the whole third act is them driving around trying to find her. Like, bro,
Yeah.
You
reunite
sick-
them and let us watch the fight.
No one cares.
Let's
yeah.
join the fight. No, how about you don't?
Well,
How about
Mark,
no,
what did Mark
Scott?
do? This time he won't be alone. But me and my wife Emma, we're not going to do anything. We got to look for our kid. We're not going to contribute.
Like, I wish somebody had been like, yeah, what do you mean he's not going to be alone? He very much is going to be alone. He and Mothra got this. What are we going to do? I have a pistol. That's what I have. What do you
like
want
I
me to do?
said, it's the symbolism that counts. It's not the effectiveness. It's the symbolism. It's the meaning behind. Oh, the humans are finally accepting Godzilla, and to some extent, with the news clippings at the end, the Titans as part of their lifestyle. So you show
Do
that
it a different
through.
way then.
You show that through like On Your Left or There's More of Us Lando moment with the human cavalry flying
No.
in from behind
Do
Godzilla.
this.
Godzilla's like, fuck yeah. But he just...
Have the humans drive around and start saving people off the streets then. Don't join the fight.
Well, that's
Get
what the
people
human
away.
aspect... That's what they're... Well, no, they showed that earlier with the people in Mexico. But...
One
hear
thing
what
I
you're
did
saying.
like
I get
is Godzilla going thermonuclear. Like that entire thing was great. And Spencer, don't spoil anything. But my only fear with that is it's kind of a double-edged sword because, like, how do you top that? So I'm wondering. I'm very curious to see in the next film, in Godzilla versus Kong, how they turned it up a notch. Which hopefully they do, but keep your mouth shut, Spencer.
Yeah.
Because I want to find out for myself.
Don't go
but
on
that's
YouTube.
the
I'll
thing.
tell
It's
you
like,
that.
Yeah, well, I don't. Unlike you, I know how to stay off those
Well, I
corners
spoiled
of
the end
internet.
of the movie because of that shit.
Bro.
Well, stop. Just
I
stop.
didn't watch it. Spencer
Anyway.
just spoiled that the other monsters aren't in it.
I wasn't
knew
expecting
that.
him to be.
Well, and that's a huge problem with continuity.
No, they all went back to their own countries.
Well,
Why would they
they
be
didn't
in
have
it?
their visas.
Well, you just sounded awfully
Yeah.
American.
They didn't have
No.
their visas.
Obviously, that's not what I meant. They all came from a different part of the world. So now they all
Yeah,
went
right,
back
right,
to
right,
it.
right.
Why would they be that you... Come on.
Well, okay, hold on a second. I'll get into that in our
Okay.
closing remarks because I have something to say about that. But
What should happen
I
right
don't
now?
want to say it.
I got something to say.
But what was I going to say?
Closing
No,
remarks? Oh.
no. I'm done with you. I'm not talking to you.
I don't want to
To
talk
you.
to you. I'm done talking to you.
It could have launched the Mothra spinoff. It could have shown her like being
Yeah.
queen of the monsters.
Well, that kind of gives
Yeah,
motivation.
it's really lame.
and then showing a newspaper clipping like Mothra, queen of the monsters.
We had a Pokemon the first movie moment where the tears of life fall from Mothra onto Godzilla and give him the strength and energy to get back up. And
Fuck the hat, okay? Like, have her ride on Godzilla's back. Have her ride on Godzilla's
That's not what I
back.
thought of yours.
speaking of
And
Godzilla,
they have a
fucking
Megazord
gets
now. It's a Megazord.
yeeted.
She picks him up and flies him.
Ghidorah picks
she
him up and
catches him.
flies him. Good
then
Mothra
Mothra
can't
should've
lift
caught him.
Godzilla.
Like, he, like, light it up, Godzilla.
You see how thick he is?
And then she calls him Zills. Light it up, Zills. And he's like, light me up, Moth.
Zilly.
And then she puts her little spores, and then he goes, vroom, 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 and then it's spore, atomic fire, blast.
No, Godzilla's
have
name
them
is
team up
Godric.
there.
Godric.
Godric Zilla the Second.
Yes.
Godric King Zilla the Second. You
King
get your
Godric
ass
Zilla
over
the
here.
Third, 7th Dynasty. But no,
Do you, Godzilla, take Mothra to be your lawfully wedded queen of the monsters? And do you, Mothra,
We'll take that as a
Godzilla
yes.
to be the king of the monsters and the king of the bedroom in your home?
wow.
Great sound.
Wow. You guys. Leave it to Joel. But let's move on to what do we got? Any other remarks about third act, Act 3 before we
I
what
just
about-
thought it was really badass when shit started melting around him and he was just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, fucked.
Emma's gone. She gone.
Yeah.
There ain't no way she's alive.
That's
Yeah,
fine. We
fine.
don't give a shit about the humans.
Dude, do not care.
But and speaking of, I wanted
Yeah,
to say
I'm
this
sure they're
earlier.
great.
I didn't really care for her character much to begin with, but it is kind of cool when she says, "Long live the king," and then Godzilla wakes back up. Pretty cool, but I don't like her like nonchalantness, like the mad scientist sort of thing, like Thanos. Like she is so sure of their plan that she like is separating her morality from, you know what I mean? She's detaching herself from the consequences of what she's doing. So she's acting detached. I don't like that style of acting or that performance with that kind of character. Just I'm doing what is right and
They kind of wasted a great
I'm not
actress.
emotionally affected by it. Like, that was annoying.
Yes, it was. They wasted a great actress. They wasted Mothra. Just so much more they could have done. She's
Cool
riding on
moment,
his
though,
back.
at Fenway when she activates the orca. And you get the
I
American
guess.
flag, the wind gust, and how it droops and stops and snaps back up. Cool suspense. That was from the trailer. That got people pumped.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did finally watch the Godzilla versus Kong. That's what it's called. Trailer. Pretty cool. I actually
hadn't
kind of
seen the
like that.
trailer?
I hadn't seen the trailer until recently, looking up music and videos for the show. But very cool. I'm pumped. I want to watch
And
it.
spoiling himself.
What? Nope.
That's all right. It's fine.
You got to watch it before the 30th.
I know. When,
So you have 5 days.
Joel, quiet, Spencer. Joel, when do you want to watch that?
I'm just gonna watch it in my apartment by myself.
Well, I'm not
HBO
gonna
Max.
go into your apartment. I'm saying we can watch it virtually and together.
Well, no one else needs to know that. We'll discuss that after.
Okay. Fine. Wow, it's not anything. It's nothing like that. No, I don't know why. Wow.
No, I'm saying they don't care about our plans about.
Well, it's a little casual
watching.
banter, okay? It's
If you
Well,
let
no
me know
one
when you're
fucking
watching it,
cares.
I might be able to watch it with you, like after, like later, like at night.
Let's just invite all the listeners.
yeah.
Too, okay.
Hey,
All right.
virtual watch party.
We're gonna do a
listeners.
virtual hangout.
Hey, Hey,
here's our
virtual
password. The password.
You can watch it all at the same time. We can post it on the page when we're gonna watch it. You can tune in. I'm not sure we're gonna do a live show.
You're making promises. I'm
not making a promise. It's a threat.
So he rips his head off. He's big on ripping heads off. They're all monsters. Like, that's how you know a monster lost. But why couldn't he grow it back this time? He was disintegrated. But
radiation, bro.
Neat. Like, he just smokes it.
He slurps
like a cigar
like
or a blunt.
Fucking spaghetti.
There's some good shit.
Stogie?
Ah, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the new Ghidorah. It's the new Ghidorah.
No, Godzilla's just
imported.
Hey, Ring Theory, he's doing his Kong octopus
space.
moment, squid moment, slurps up Ghidorah. That's his name.
Yep.
Slurps up shit.
Do you think the cleanup crew is like, again, can you just take the head with you? It took us 3 years to clean up the Muto mess. They're big.
Dude, I hope that everyone got out of Boston in time, because nobody's alive within a however many mile radius. Dude. I mean, Godzilla just basically haloed the place.
When he starts melting stuff and he's just walking like, what up? I'm like, let's go. Ghidorah, you're done. Also, Boston, you're done.
Not as cool.
You can hide in the bathtub all you want, but you're done.
Nothing. You can hide in a lead refrigerator, Indy, but that ain't going to help you.
Have fun growing limbs out of your nose, because you're done, dude.
Spencer.
That radiation is not good.
I'm going to give you a hot take. Cooler finishing move in Godzilla 2014 than in this movie. With opening up Muto's mouth and just fucking...
I can agree with that.
Blasting.
I can agree with that. That was cool.
This one, he's just got a bad case of indigestion and he explodes.
What if Godzilla had come in and just been like, I got a fever, and the only cure I got is Ghidorah Bell, or something like that. I don't know. That was dumb.
Okay. Well, that's...
somebody, you know what, I'm surprised Bradley Whitford's character didn't say, looks like Godzilla's got a fever, and then just cut away.
No.
He should have said that. I would have been fine with him saying that.
What was it Aizawa said again?
Surazawa.
Ouch.
I keep saying Aizawa. I'm sorry. Surazawa. I said that in the Godzilla episode too. My mistake.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was super pumped that they got the song in the credits. The fights could have been way better if we'd have, I don't know, seen them. Like, put them finding the daughter in the background instead of this. Like, there was an opportunity for a really sweet, like, one of those long takes, like tracking shots where it starts with them and then the camera goes up and then they're in the background and then you see the fight for a few minutes in the fight and then you go back down to the car and where they are and the fight's in the background and then you got them in the background.
Yeah.
No, just give us the fight. I want to see the fight. Give me Mothra. Give me Godzilla. That's what I want.
Yeah. I can dig it. I can agree.
This just wasn't as fun of a film as what it could have been. And Kong Skull Island to me is still the one I enjoyed watching the most out of the 3. And this one should have been it. Too much human, like even more human stuff than in Godzilla, it seemed like. Like the final fight in Godzilla, we at least got to see. This, like I said, it was kind of in the background. Like, show me it.
There was more monster stuff in this movie, to be sure.
Fine. But show me this is like the rivalry of the century of all time, and we get it for a few minutes, and then in the background a little bit. It seemed like man, dude, I will say, sweet awesome shot of them running at each other. That was cool.
Didn't like it.
That extra wide shot.
I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to poop on your parade. I mean, the effect, the intention was there, but it just didn't look as good. It looked I don't know how to even just describe it. It looked a little low budget to me, just that shot. And it looked like it... Well, because you've seen it in the commercials. You've seen it in the commercials and in the trailer. So it looks like a shot, like a trailer shot. Or like from a commercial advertising a Godzilla toy. Like right before they cut to the logo, you'd show that shot of them running at each other and fighting. Godzilla, new action figure, available now. Like, that's what it reminded me of. Like an action shot from a commercial for a toy. But it's fine that you like it. I don't mean to poop on it. That's just my opinion.
Pooping.
And that kind of goes with my opinion on the cinematography as a whole.
This movie could have expanded the MonsterVerse so much more, with Mothra specifically. Even Rodan's left alive. He's kind of a character, main character. I don't know.
This goes, well, hold on, so thoughts about the movie. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. There's some stuff in it that's a little nonsense, of course. I mean, we're dealing with kaiju giant monsters, but I didn't mind the human characters. I thought they were an improvement over the last one. I actually cared. The motivation was there. They were more involved in the story in a more meaningful, sensical way. And they kind of worked on balancing that, I think. I think that was a criticism of Godzilla, is that there was too many there's not enough Godzilla, too much human drama, and the human drama in that kind of sucked anyway. But this one, it's improved, and we see more monsters, and we see more battling. We learn more about the different titans on Earth, and that sort of thing, and what they're there for, what their purpose is. But I would say that this movie, it kind of blew its load a little too early. And I know that's a kind of a crass way to say it, but it's kind of true. I mean, you had the perfect setup for... You had Godzilla. You had Kong Skull Island. You've established Kong and Godzilla. Now have them come together in the crossover Godzilla versus Kong first, before we head into this King of the Monsters scenario where you've got Monster of the Week times 5 kind of getting crammed a little bit into the movie, so you don't spend enough time with them and give them enough time to have standout moments. It's kind of like, again, it's like The Last Jedi, or I'm not joking around, or like Legend of Korra, the end of season 2, where you kind of have this epic cosmic consequence closing act sort of thing. That's what it feels like, as a closing act, and it's the middle movie.
Yeah, but it sets up this, like, okay, he's king, but what about King Kong? Maybe Kong probably should have had one more movie in between, I think. Maybe. I just feel like having Rodan, we got Rodan, but we don't see a whole lot of him. We got Mothra, she gets killed. And those are like iconic kaiju characters from Japanese cinema and Godzilla universe, and they could have hinted that there's going to be a new Mothra, that she's not dead, like, sir, we found a giant, it looks like a cocoon or something.
Yeah.
Give us something. Like, we found radiation that matched, or these spores, like, they matched what Mothra is. This is another, I don't know, they could have done it, but whatever. Joel, what are your overall finals?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Christian, did you have more?
I just wanted to say, I just think they could have saved this movie for a finale, kind of a finale act, because you get Ghidorah. And historically, I guess Ghidorah is Godzilla's nemesis. And that's something you want to save for something special. And in this movie, you didn't really get a whole lot of special moments in terms of introducing the monsters, and it was all right. It was still fun. We all agree on I think Joel's about to talk about that. The human error aspect.
Well, I guess my thoughts, I hadn't thought about the fact that this movie should have been the middle. I hadn't thought about that, the fact that we're getting all this in the third movie.
It's the second Godzilla movie, but third in the MonsterVerse.
Right. Way too soon. It does seem a little bit backwards that we're getting, and maybe I'll change my mind after I see Godzilla vs. Kong, but it does seem
you will.
And I could change my mind too. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. And
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this movie, a lot of missed opportunities. Too many humans again. I'll agree on that one. Obviously. What about the plot in general? Just the wrong way. I think there's a lot of useless plot devices. Did we need the orca? I don't know. That still is on the fence for me. Didn't need the human villains. There's a lot of things in this movie we didn't need and we got, and a lot of things that we needed and didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And that pretty much sums it up for me.
Or that weren't elaborated on like they should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely mishandled the introduction of Ghidorah, or the appearance or the creation of that conflict. And that could have been handled a lot better.
Yep.
One thing I did like, though, was the idea that Ghidorah is extraterrestrial. And within what we got in the movie, I liked that aspect. That, their intentions are to restore the natural order, but hey, guess what? Ghidorah isn't from the natural order. It's from outer space. Yeah. It's not part of Earth's ecosystem originally. So they're counterproductive against their goals. I kind of liked that, but...
I think there should have been maybe one more solo Godzilla movie fighting one more monster, and then that one sets up Ghidorah, something from space crashes into Earth, and it's the hell, or something like that. And then maybe one more Kong movie before Godzilla versus Kong, because then Kong gets word of Godzilla, and he's like, what the hell? Same type of what the hell type of thing.
Yeah.
Make it bigger. Make the MonsterVerse bigger. They're monsters now. Bring it.
Yeah, they kind of shrunk.
Oh, you know what would have been really funny? Speaking of shrinking, the last next time. Yeah, they get the Ghidorah head, and they get the Ghidorah head, and they're like, what's going on there at the end? Like, oh yeah, it regenerates, so it's got a little body.
Yeah.
A little body dragging out of the giant head.
Oh man.
Which head is it? It's the left head. Damn it, that's gonna go for a lot less million. That's not
Grumpy,
the alpha head.
Dopey, or
alpha.
Yeah.
All right, Christian, play us out or something.
All right. I'll play us out. What do you mean? Oh. Wow, Joel, careful there.
Sorry, I'm bursting open.
You almost fell asleep again. You almost fainted. But fainted is the right word.
Or did you pass out? There it is.
It works perfectly with Joel. Joel, we got this new device. It's called the Oxygen Destroyer. We can't let you near that thing.
Yep, you got to keep me away from that.
But now bring us out. With that, you've been listening to Sequel Men, the podcast. This is our Godzilla King of the Monsters edition. We are heading into the final act, the final film in our MonsterVerse here, wrapping it up in our next episode. But not really, because we have the wrap up after that. So stick around for Godzilla vs. Kong and the wrap up after that. We got a lot of stuff you can enjoy in the meantime. Listen to this episode. Well, you just did if you're hearing this, unless you fast forwarded to the end. So that would be weird. But anyway, you can listen to this and all of our other episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Pandora, Not the Planet, and anywhere else you like to listen to your podcast. You could, get a good laugh out of that, I hope.
Got jokes.
I got jokes for days. Dad!
Okay, Dad.
But I'm done. Spencer, take it away.
Get personal. Got an email. Email it. Jeep.
Sound like the fucking drunk uncle.
He's Godzilla at the end of 2014.
Get us on Instagram. Get us on Instagram at Sequel Men the Podcast. Twitter, got the twits, got SequelMen19. Joel's heading that. He's a Twitter machine. and the Facebook. Get us up on there. We post you. And Ben
Not
on
pictures
there.
of it,
We're on
but
there. No, just monsters and stuff. And support your local businesses and all that.
yeah. Tonight's sponsor.
Give us
All
5
those
stars
businesses.
or give us some reviews on Apple Pod. Write a review.
Write a
Okay.
review. I'll read them out loud.
I will.
I'll
Right on.
I think that's been keeping people away from the review section because they're like, I don't want mine read.
Fine, I won't read it with your real name. I'll give you a
That
fake
doesn't
name.
change anything.
Yes, we'll create an alias.
No, what
Okay,
did you
go ahead.
call Brandon Pop? What did you call our friend?
Popsicle, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Brandon, fuck you. Now we're so, no offense. We don't mean that, Brandon. We're gonna have you on
don't.
for.
Should we do a
We're gonna have you on
just
for our
all
wrap up.
three
We're
of us?
very excited for it. Yep.
Should we do an all 3 of us just say it at the same time? Just give him one.
We can try.
Like, I'll do a 1, 2, 3. All right, never mind.
No,
Just play it.
no.
Continue. End this.
Well, yeah, that's it.
End it.
That's it.
End our suffering. Come on.
What are we doing?
Guys, we can't wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because
That's
here at
right,
Sequel Men the
Christian.
podcast, fucker.
Sorry, it's late. Take it again. Christian, take it from the top.
We cannot wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequel Men the podcast.
All films are created sequel. Take care. Or don't.
Okay.
History shows it again and again how nature points up the volume.
Hey, Oscars are on tonight. Do I care? No, I don't care at all.
I didn't even
I have
know
never
that.
cared less about the Oscars.
That's how
I've never cared less.
That's how much they matter. How much they matter to me is I didn't even.
I've
know
never
that.
cared less.
Yeah.
I've literally never cared less.
I forgot.
That's okay. I don't care. It's fine. Exactly. Me too. But what I was watching instead with my son, I was introducing him to the Magic School Bus,
Oh,
and he freaking loves it.
Mrs.
He
Rizzle.
was so engulfed in it.
Frizzle, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah, Miss
Mrs.
Frizzle.
Frizzle.
Frazzle.
Ms. Frizzle.
Ms.
Voiced
Frizzle.
by
She's
Lily,
not married. Okay, that means she's single.
Lily Tompkins?
Is this
Lily
the new one? This isn't the old one.
No, it's the Ridge. It's the Ridge.
Okay.
The old. The 1997. Dude, it's awesome. It was so
We
dope.
watched it a
There
few
was this one
times when
kinda
we were in
gross,
school.
Disgusting. They went into Ralphie's body, and instead of going through his mouth, they
yeah.
went through a cut he had on his knee. And I'm like, this is
That's-
gross, but I'm learning.
Whoa. Well.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was fine. It was cool.